pain or death, for the former things are passed away. Behold, we see through a glass darkly, but one day face to face, I will know even as also I am known.
6 words. It's made in the power of words. Anyway, good morning to you. It's time to rise and shine. Now, you know what time it is? It is time for, let me see, lessons of life, as well as, you know what time it is. The word of the day. The word of the day is so I can, so I can help you guys tell people off without making them feel bad. Okay, I'm just saying that's sometimes it ain't. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. Now, this lesson, Elkin's teaching moment, teaches you how to say it correctly without ticking off everybody in the room. Okay, that's just what I'm saying. Okay, so the word of the day. It is the 4th of January. The word of the day is palindrome. That's right, Palindrome. That's right, palindrome. Now you all know what this is, but you never known what they call it. Well, I'm gonna tell you today, but this is what it is that you guys think. Palindrome is a word or a verse or sentence or a number that reads the same way backwards or forward. Okay, I know that's a little tough first thing in the morning. Okay, but it is a word. Okay, let me give you an example. 2002, whether it's backwards or forward, it says the same thing. 2002. There are more. I can't tell you all the words right now, but there are words that are like that you can, or even a verse or a sentence or anything like that, that backwards or forward, it says the same thing. Such as 2002. If you take 2002 and read it backwards, it still says 2002. Okay, I just want to let you know that. It's called a palindrome. Okay, now some of you guys, when you go to school today, you can put that one out on your teacher, and she'll never know how you got there. Okay, now lessons of life today. These are lessons of life. These are things you learn by living. You can't learn them any other way unless you put what we call time in life. In the military, we call it time in service or time in grade. But on Elkin Show, we call it time in life. You got to go through some things, okay, before you learn the lessons of life to the extent that you can actually pass them on. And today is no exception. Lessons of life. We make a lot about getting older. I mean, young folks. Yeah, listen, I was one of them at one time too. Yeah, I used to talk about old people like a dog. Man, I got you so old till till Moses wouldn't know your name. I mean, we used to talk about old folks all the time. I mean, and now we find ourselves. Wait a minute. Now we find ourselves being that which we talked about when we were that other thing. Okay, I mean, we were young, we were dumb, and we just didn't know. Okay, but here's one thing that that is attributed to being old that I think is a wrong association. Okay, you do not grow old. Okay, because you dream. You grow old when you quit dreaming. I want you to think about that for a second. You don't grow old because you're dreaming. Because in order to dream, your mind must work. You must think of things. You want to reach beyond your your what is the word I'm looking for? You want to reach beyond your grasp. Anybody can reach for what they see. It is the things that you can't see, that you know are there, that keeps you going. Okay, so you don't grow old because you dream. You grow old because you quit dreaming. Don't quit dreaming. I still got a couple of dreams. Okay, I'm working on them. I mean, they may not come all the way through, but I got some. I'm working on. Okay, I'm just best I can do is work on them. But if you ever quit dreaming, then life as you know it will change. Okay, so let me get this one more again. Okay, one more again. You don't grow old because you dream. You grow old because you quit dreaming. Never stop dreaming. Okay, and you'll never grow old. Okay, you'll get older, but you'll never grow old. I'm just trying to tell you that. Okay. So anyway, palindrome, a word or a verse or a sentence or a number that reads the same backwards or forward. Gave you an example as 2002. Now, let's go on to some of the things that happened on this day in history. It is January the 4th. It is the fourth day of this year. It was on this day in 1965, President Lyndon Baines Johnson delivered his State of the Union address in which he outlined the goals of the Great Society to keep poor people poor and dependent on the government. That was his Great Society. In 1896, Utah was admitted to the United States as the 45th state. In 1904, the U.S. Supreme Court in Gonzalez versus Williams ruled that Puerto Ricans were not aliens and could enter the United States freely. However, the court stopped short of declaring them citizens. Puerto Ricans received U.S. citizenship in March of 1917. So, I mean, if you want to know, just go to New York, man. You know that. In 1935, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, in the State of the State Union address, called on legislation to provide assistance for the jobless, elderly, impoverished children, and handicapped. Still got some of that going on. Some of that stuff made them handicapped them even worse. 1943, for the second time, Soviet dictator Joseph Stalin made a cover of Time as the magazine's 1942 Man of the Year. 1951, during the Korean War, North Korean Communist Chinese forces recaptured the city of Seoul. I've been there. Yeah, still there. 1960, author and philosopher Albert Camus died in an automobile accident in France. It was at the young age of 46. 1964, Pope Paul the Fourth or the Fifth, whichever one, whatever the V and the I is. I think that's fourth. Or is that fifth? Is that sixth? I'm not sure. Anyway, he began to visit to the Holy Lands, the first papal pilgrimage of its kind. So what does a V and a I, what is that in Roman numerals? Somebody tell me. Text me, brother, so I know. 241-9998. I don't want to sound too dumb. I mean, I don't mind sounding dumb sometimes, but I used to know the Roman numerals. Oh, well, that time ago. 1974, President Richard Nixon refused to hand over tape recordings and documents subpoenaed by the Senate Watergate Committee. The year was 1987, and 16 people were killed when an Amtrak train bound from Washington, D.C. to Boston collided with a Conrail locomotive that had crossed into its path of a sidetrack in Chase, Maryland. I'll never understand how trains can't see each other. 1995, the 104th Congress convened, the first entirely under Republican control since the Eisenhower era. In 2002, Sergeant First Class Nathan Ross Chapman, a United States Army Special Forces soldier, was killed by small arms fire during an ambush in eastern Afghanistan. He was the first American military death from enemy fire in the war against terrorism. In 2006, the U.S. Supreme Court agreed that Jose Padilla, held for 3.5 years as an enemy combatant, could be transferred to civilian authorities in Miami. And it was 14 years ago, just 14 years ago, New Mexico Governor Bill Richardson announced he was withdrawing his nomination to be President-elect Barack Obama's Commerce Secretary amid a grand jury investigation on how some of his political donors had won lucrative state contracts. Prosecutors later declined to bring the charges against him. And a female suicide bomber struck the Shiite pilgrims in Baghdad, killing 38 people. 9 years ago, the city center of Iraq's Fallujah fell completely into the hands of fighters of the Al-Qaeda-linked Islamic State in Iraq and Levant. 31 workers were killed in the collapse of a building under construction in southern India. And it was 5 years ago today, the Trump administration moved to vastly expand offshore drilling from the Atlantic to the Arctic. Amen. And then the idiot came in office and stopped it. Okay, then. And now we have to beg people to give them all of our money so we can get some oil. And we got more oil than just about any place in the world. Yeah, that's Democrats for you. Yep. We don't want to get our own oil. We want to pay somebody for oil. Yeah, that's a Democratic mentality. So he comes in and signs an order. We're gonna stop drilling. And next thing you know, he had his lips on the butt of the sheik or somebody over there in the Mideast. Can you please, OPEC? Can you please give us some more oil? We'll pay you, even though we got plenty of oil ourselves. We're paying somebody else for it. Okay, that's a Democrat thing there. Okay, that's Republican. And Republicans such wusses till they don't even fight anyway. So, with American people getting screwed on both sides. One side will lie to you, tell you whatever they got to do to you to get to what they got to do. The other side won't tell you nothing. so you don't even know if you're being lied to or not. Oh well. But anyway, listen, I finally figured it out. The Democrats or the Republicans do not represent us. They represent the people of their party. And if you are still confused about that, then I would say you need to go back to high school and take a class in civics. Neither one of them care about you. So if you don't belong to the party, baby, if you haven't, then you don't get invited. Okay, I'm just telling you. So it took me a long time. I thought the Republicans and the Democrats were looking out for us. They looking out for them. I ain't mad at them. Okay, we just so stupid we couldn't figure it out all these years. But I figured it out. I ain't vote for neither one of them. Every time I go vote for now, except city election, only election I'm voting in, anything else I'm just gonna write my own name in. Okay, who knows? I may look up and win. I mean, stranger things have happened. Not that yet, but it's possible for it to happen. Anyway, don't forget it's Wednesday morning. Also, I got my main man Donald's with us this morning. Okay. So now I gotta get out of here and take a break. But anyway, Donald, how you doing, man?
Well, good morning. Good morning to the audience. I'm doing fine, thank you.
Well, that's good. Again, our condolences for your loss of your mom.
Oh yeah.
But
Thank you. I did all of those who called and came by and so forth.
Yeah. I wish I didn't have to say I know what I feel, but I do.
Yeah.
But it is
a long goodbye.
Circle of life, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, my time is just about up. So when we come back, Donald will be here. We'll talk. I'm pretty sure Donald's gonna have something I'll disagree with, but maybe not. It's a new year. We could be on the same. Nah. That ain't gonna happen. Anyway, we'll be back. Most rickety tickety. Yeah, I thought maybe it was a new year. It was a new year kind of phenomena. But no, I'm pretty sure we ain't had it real much. We'll be back.
Now, your WSFA 12 news update on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, I'm Jasmine Williams with WSFA 12 News. Here's what's happening this Wednesday. Severe weather led to power outages, at least one radar-confirmed tornado, and down power lines in our area. In Elmore County, officials report damage on Highway 111 in Heatsville through and across Lake Jordan, Titus, the Seaman area, and into County.
Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you, Donald.
It's a new year. We can start off and
That's right.
start
Fresh.
Yeah.
Then get back to the old stuff.
Yeah. Get the old stuff. It looked like not a Republican thing. It's just a political thing. The Republican Party has been put in the same situation that the Democratic Party was in the county level. They have a problem.
You mean local or national?
No, on the national.
They both.
In New York. And what I'm saying is the same situation where after the fact they found out something, and now They got to have him. So until they get that vote.
Are you talking about the Santos guy?
Yeah, the Santos.
But listen, ain't no law against lying.
Well,
In the politics?
No.
I'm
In other words,
in
same
New
thing
York.
happened with the
Millions of
Democrats.
Americans are
Yeah.
bracing for severe weather today
Right.
from out west
Yeah, but
to
omission-
the Midwest,
omission
down
is the same as
south.
coming.
But
WCBS
that's
a lot.
is
But that's-
is
but
tracking
that-
it all.
And I think the Supreme Court rules, I remember
Well,
party rules.
that's part of the rule.
Weekend is now producing severe weather.
So right now, the party's kind of overlooking it because they need that vote.
Another major
Because
system will be
Hakeem Jeffries ended up having more votes than McCarthy, and he's in the minority.
I don't want
It is
McCarthy.
expected
I don't
to
care
rain
anybody,
and
but I don't
dangerous
want
Let me
winds
ask you
that
this.
could knock out more power to the
because
region.
McCarthy didn't do
Thousands are
anything.
still
He's a
in the
wuss.
dark
He
around
don't
Wait a minute,
fight.
what?
Meantime, our
What
Vicky
is
Barker
doing?
is sweating it out.
He doesn't fight for anything. The
Hold on,
Republicans,
hold on.
the so-called Republicans.
What-
stand for.
well,
he just doesn't.
You know what? He is, look, I keep up.
Yeah,
He is a conservative Republican.
Man, that's what he
But
said.
the only thing he doesn't delve
The U.S.
into,
Embassy in
are
Cuba
these
is granting visas
social
again for the first time since
so those are
2018.
non-pocketbook
That's when
issues.
embassy
So he don't
workers and
delve into.
diplomats
Well,
were getting sick from
when
so-called
social issues
Havana
such as
syndrome
this
following a large size of
That's not, that's not
But
an
it
issue.
does. It does. When you
It's
can
an
lose
issue
your
that's been
job.
made an issue by talk radio.
Right. But when you can lose your job because you don't want to call somebody what you know they are not, that is an issue.
We're getting, both sides in this situation are getting carried away.
I agree.
Because
Absolutely.
this non-binary and all that. And,
But,
no,
but
I agree
people are
with you.
having their jobs threatened.
But there are situations that it's being blown out of
The new
proportion.
Congress is
by
off to a
But-
rocky but
it's not a
historic
political issue.
start in the
But it is
House.
now.
Reps
It is
will
a
vote
political
again
issue.
today after
But it is.
failing to
You
elect a
lose your
speaker.
job because you
CBS's
don't
Jared
call
Hill
somebody
has the
what you know
latest.
they're not. You have call me and it's pronouns. What the hell?
No, you don't have to do anything. You sound like a pronoun.
It's the first time in
I mean, who cares?
Okay.
We know what
But
you already
it doesn't
know.
matter.
to elect a speaker.
Democrats
really
were
doesn't matter.
united in their
Pronouns don't
support
matter.
for New
Well, I
York's
Not
said, not
Hakeem
to me, they don't,
Jeffries.
because you don't even
A
have
new
to
alert system for
address
indigenous
personal
people has been
You don't need
activated
to
in
dress up by a
Colorado.
name.
KCNC
If they want to be
reporter
a
So
Melissa
it's not an
Adams
issue.
has
But
more.
if your name's
But they're
Susan,
making,
if your name's Susan, then I know you're a guy. I ain't gonna go.
no, that's your name, color.
Please, we can think of the 27
Well,
like
like
Lakota
Johnny
man
Cash
has been
said,
missing
my
since
name is
December
Sue. How do you
29.
do?
Walmart's
My
case is the
My name
first
is-
to activate
there you go.
the statewide
Johnny Cash told you, his name was
Indigenous
Sue.
alert. The new alert system went live on Friday, but because it was a holiday weekend, advocates say that alert took too long to get out to the public.
If this was an Amber Alert, it wouldn't have mattered if it was a holiday. So it shouldn't matter if it's a Lakota man on a holiday or a white child on a holiday. That response should have been immediate.
The alert system's so new, but authorities say they are working on fixing its failures. This is CBS News.
Nobody should have to pay for one-size-fits-all insurance coverage. Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance, so you only pay for what you need. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them? Would you recognize this 16-year-old boy who got his first job?
Spending them to help feed his little sisters?
Or a mother who's in between jobs and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner? I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. I am hunger in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
MyPillow is always looking for ways to solve everyday problems. Introducing a 6-piece towel set that includes 2 bath towels, 2 hand towels, and 2 washcloths. Right now, you can receive a 6-piece set for only $39.98 with promo code SKY. MyPillow products come with a 10-year warranty and have a 60-day money-back guarantee. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio listener special, and enter promo code SKY. Or call 800-635-1825. That's MyPillow.com, promo code SKY.
Southwest problems aren't keeping the airline now from moving ahead with a big expansion. CBS's
The
Christopher
Elkman.
Cruz explains.
The airline is moving
Were you on
forward
yesterday?
with a $425 million expansion of its
But I lost
facility
mine.
at BWI Marshall Airport in Maryland, where
What?
Southwest has been operating for more than 30 years. About
Oh,
70% of the traffic at the airport, which is between Baltimore and Washington, is generated by Southwest. The construction will improve the terminal and add concession space and more modern bathrooms. It will also update the baggage handling system. The work is scheduled to be completed by 2026. Christopher Cruz, CBS News, Washington.
Jeremy Renner is conscious and still recovering, and he even posted an update on Instagram from his hospital bed yesterday after suffering serious injuries while operating a snow tractor. He was helping a stranded driver in his neighborhood near Lake Tahoe over the weekend when authorities say he was run over in the snow. They're calling it a tragic accident. Monica Ricks, CBS News.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
Happy New Year. Eric Cresswell here from Tallahassee Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, and I want to invite you to our Start Something New sales event. Right now, you can save big on remaining stock of Wranglers and Durangos with lots of incentives to choose from. We're taking orders for the 2023 model, so it's a perfect time to order exactly what you want. Just stop in and let us look at your trade. We can run the numbers that will guarantee your trade value to the car of your dreams to rise.
And I can walk out.
Automotive.com. Start Something New sales event ends January 31st.
Telling it like it really is. It's the Dan Bongino Show, weekdays from 11 to 2 on News Radio 1440.
Man, time went by quick. Okay, let's do it.
He's back. He's back.
That's right. I know it's 20, whatever year it is, but I still like the 1970s music. That won't change. I'm just waiting for them to have an all 1970, 72 to 79 concert with all the stars. I'll go. I don't care if they're on cane. I'm going to see them. So that's what I got to say. I like the old, and I love me some Christopher Cross. That man can always put out good stuff there. Okay? So I'm saying, if you don't like it, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm not really sorry though. Anyway, on my Wednesdays, for you folks who are new to the show, if we got anybody new to, I hope we got at least one person. Donald Jenkins is a local, we call him our local historian for local events around Montgomery, and he's been here his whole life. Attended high school here and other things. His mother was well known as a foster child keeper, if that's the word I want to use. She reached out into the communities and helped some of those child that I probably never would have. I have enough time with my own.
Really?
So I couldn't do it. But I'm glad there are people like your mom that did it.
Yeah. She was an advocate for foster care and adoption.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, she adopted two little kids. You remember?
Yeah.
And they're both adults now. The majority of those kids that she dealt with, and she taught the class on adoption and foster care at DHR on Thursdays, volunteered to do that. So that's where a lot of people met her dealing with adoption. And there are several very notable individuals who got involved with adoption and foster care.
Mm-hmm.
And she also worked at the Department of Correction. That's where she retired from, in the SAP program, Substance Abuse Program.
So
that's where I met a lot of young men in prison.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because I would do motivational speaking from time to time for mom on her graduation classes. Mm-hmm. And that would be a time where they always liked me to talk. Believe it or not, I was one of the speakers who was very responsive to the amount of time that they had to be with their loved ones. So it was always a short speech that I would give, and they loved that because that gave them more time. They would request, say, "No, God, let your son do it."
Yeah, because be quick, short,
because
sweet,
you
to
know
the
you
point.
get ministers up there and
Yeah.
politicians.
Yeah, I know
they tend to talk.
They don't do much, but they
But I always tell them, 5 minutes is the longest I'm going to talk if it's a group that's out there and they have their loved ones wanting to hear them and speak with them and visit and fellowship. But it was an enjoyable time, and I still get that lump in my throat thinking about it. It was a long goodbye because dementia is real,
Mhm.
and it was about approximately 3 years. And this final few months was very, very rough on her, and it's called the long goodbye. I've dealt with other people because a lot of my friends have parents who are in their 80s and 90s, and I even have one friend whose father is 103. He was 103 last month. So we understand these difficult situations dealing with our parents. We all want to live a long time, but no one wants to get old. But it is eventually going to happen.
I ain't gonna get old.
Well, you never know.
I'll get older, but I won't get old.
It'll happen. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's true.
Because, and that's just to share with people. We all have these situations we're going to get into. And this is a good segue for me to say people need to be prepared. Because we prepare for life, but we don't prepare for death. Every one of us will die. So we need to prepare for that moment of death. That means we don't need a big responsibility on our loved ones behind wanting a fancy funeral and all of that. Well, I can be thankful that my mother listened to me because dealing with cemeteries for the last 30 years, I saw the discrepancies in care, perpetual care, and all those things. And a lot of it was unnecessary because the majority of those people who are buried in those places never should have been buried in the first place. There is an alternative. It's called cremation. And that's what I believe in. If you can have a cremation, it's the cheapest form of serving a loved one, and you can have a goodbye. You don't have to have a casket, which costs hundreds of thousands of dollars. You don't have to have the funeral cars, which cost hundreds of dollars. You don't have to have a procession with the police. It costs $450 to have those policemen come out there. You don't have to have all of that. And one of the things we have, you don't even have to have a burial permit. So it is a lot less expensive. And I will not give a dime to anyone who wants to be buried. If you don't have the money to bury your individual, you don't need to be buried. So that's my personal take on it. My mother had good insurance. She was able to do that, but we didn't have to, as I call it, waste all of that money on a casket, funeral cars, and all of that. And it cost absolutely nothing to have a memorial at the church. None of those charges are out there. So I know in a time, and because we were preparing, we understood, and I'm telling people out there, understand at some point in time, you're going to have a loved one who's going to die. And you need to think about what is going to happen. How will you prepare for that death? And can you pay for it? Or are you going to do a GoFundMe for a casket and the funeral cars and all of that? I'm not giving a dime for it, okay? And I suggest that no one else does it. All of these kids out there who are leading this dangerous life, and then they have a big funeral. You don't even go to church. Then you have a funeral. So that's my pet peeve.
I was feeling pretty good.
No, that's my pet peeve, but I had to say it was related because
I was feeling pretty good.
Well, I'm just saying death is something that's going to happen.
Yeah,
this is the beginning of a new year, and I just wanted to say that's my perspective. Yeah. That's my point of view. And let me make it very clear, and I'll say it as I always say on this show. My perception is my understanding according to the information I have. What I perceive is what I believe. What you perceive is what you believe. Mm-hmm. My perspective is based on my perception. Your perspective, your POV, your point of view. Mm-hmm. And there are a lot of people who have a different POV, point of view, from what I just gave. And I have no problem with that. I'm just stating my POV, my perspective. And that's what I come up here for on every occasion. Yes, we may disagree sometimes, but sometimes we do agree because you give your perspective, your point of view, and I give mine. Mine is no greater or less, and there is no listener out there whose point of view is greater or less than mine or yours. And we don't have, and this is a good time to talk about it. It's very hard to have conversations now because people want to be right on an issue. It's more important than to be right for people now. Everyone wants to be right. So if everyone is right, who is wrong? So why can't we just have different perspectives, different points of view? And therefore, we can discuss issues. And another thing, I believe in issues, not personality. If we start talking about personality, especially in religion and politics, 50% of the people are going to be on one side, 50% of the people are going to be on the other. That's just a simple way of saying it. There are going to be people who are going to be different on whatever the issue is when we're talking about personality. And that leads into arguments, and that gets it personal. I think we can have issues that we can talk about. Politics in general can be an issue. What are the issues we're talking about? Not the personality. It has now become about personality.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the arguments come in. You're either on one side or the other of the personality. There are things I agree with and things I disagree with both the Republican and Democratic Party. Mm-hmm. But the parties are mainly, you stated it, and I'm just bringing this up also because it's all a part of the new year and we're bringing it in, talking about issues. In politics, you have the Republican and Democratic parties. Both parties exist for one reason and one reason alone. That is to raise money for that party, mm-hmm. for their candidates that they choose. That's it. They don't have a moral position. Neither party has a moral position. They just have a position on issues that a group of people will give money to. That's all that matters. So if you get personal with it, the Democratic Party doesn't care about me. The Republican Party doesn't care about me. And I certainly don't care about either one of them. But when you deal with these political positions where you have a party affiliation, then you've got to choose one or the other. But one thing about municipal elections, we have a non-party system for municipal elections. You don't have to vote for a party. You just vote for an individual. So just throwing my 2 cents in there on some issues, thinking about little things. It's been a while since I've been on. I said, let me throw these out real quick, and then we can go from there. And Kevin can go in any direction he wants to go with whatever he wants to.
Well, what I am going to, when we come back from this break, the last city council meeting, mm-hmm. The mayor and Pruitt and a few other folks were bantering about the things that, well, one particular thing was a community center out near on Gaslight. Evidently, they built the building backwards. How that happens, I don't know. I'm not an architect. How you can build a building back? Hell, just take the front door, put it in the back, and the back door, put it in the front. I mean, I don't care.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I don't either. Mm-hmm. But there was some political gesturing going on at this meeting. And another thing, they keep doing this, and Audrey Graham, they keep having people come down there, back and forth for their liquor license or whatever they want to sell liquor, whatever the case may be. They keep telling people, well, the neighborhood association don't want. I'm sorry, the neighborhood association is not part of Act 618. They're not a legal entity. They don't have any authority.
Those are the in other words, we're talking about businesses that should be, and this is the fault of the business. If they get into an argument about liquor licenses, it's because the rapport between the community and the business person. That's all that is. It's very easy because nearly every service station sells.
Pretty much.
Everybody sells alcohol. Okay.
Yeah.
Nearly every Family Dollar. The only reason they're so big now is because they sell alcohol. Okay. Mm-hmm. That's one of their biggest items they sell. And everywhere you go, there's a Family Dollar, or not a Family Dollar, but the Dollar General. Family Dollar doesn't sell it, but Dollar General does. So you don't hear any arguments about Dollar General getting a liquor license.
Well, when we come back, I want to let you hear the conversation between the mayor and Mr. Pruitt, and talking about just it's 8 years is too long for people to wait for their community center to come up. The mayor says, well, I wasn't here 8 years ago. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, that dog ain't gonna hunt. Because when you run for mayor, run for city council, you know the problems. Okay, if you don't, you should. And you are 100% accountable while you're in office to satisfy that problem.
Well, you know what?
You don't get to say it was here when I got here.
Well,
you can say it, but doesn't mean anything.
When we get back,
Yeah.
we need to look at the genesis of how community centers started.
Yeah. Well, we know how they started.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Well, it's a community center.
No, that's not how they started.
But we know what they're for.
No. See, we ended up where we are now because of where we come from.
But it's called community center, which means it's a center for the community.
It's a misnomer. Okay. When we come back.
And we're gonna listen to this, and then I'll let you tell me what you think I don't know.
Okay.
All right, then we'll be back right after these messages. See, y'all want to go back into the history.
No, you got to know how you got here.
But it doesn't make it different.
Yes, it does. If you know how you got here, then you can let's admit how we got here, and then we can say, okay, this is what happened. So now let's straighten it up. You've got to understand how we got here in the first place.
But we here. We are here.
But how did we get here?
Well, but we here.
See, it's not 8 years. It's really a 50-year problem. It's not an 8 year. It's a 50, 60-year problem. See, everything goes back to how we got started here. Public education in general. How did we get here?
But it's irrelevant now.
No, it's not irrelevant. All of it is relevant.
The solutions are for today, not then. We need to solve it today.
We've got to admit. In other words, for an alcoholic to stop being an alcoholic, the first thing you got to do is stand up and say, my name is Don Jenkins and I'm an alcoholic.
Right.
That's what we've got to do. We say, look, we got a problem. Houston, we have a problem. Like Follow 13. Houston, we got a problem. Now, let's talk about the problem. How did it start, and at what point do we start turning in what direction, and where do we go from here?
But if we keep going through that barrage,
we've never gone through it. First of all, we've never had anyone admit the problem.
I mean, for 4 mayors. Emory was with me when I got here. Bobby Bright, Todd Strang for 10 years, and now we got.
And under every mayor, it was different. But the subtle difference is people didn't notice, and now it's coming to the light. The chickens have come home to roost. Problems that you started under Emory Palmer, they're all coming up now. Actually, the problems that started under Jackie Gale.
But how are we going to hold that?
That's where it started. That's in the legislation. That's how we got here.
But that's got nothing to do
yes, it does.
with a couple of years ago, they started building a community center backwards.
What does that mean?
Exactly. I guess they put it, I don't know what it means.
What does that, first of all, I have no idea. When you say they built it backwards.
But that's what Mr. Kippy Tate said the other day.
He's an architect.
Right, he's an architect. He said it was built back. I don't know how you can build something backwards.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Does it mean it's inconvenient from the street? Does it mean it's inconvenient for the
they haven't explained
I don't know what that means.
They haven't
so I
explained
can't discuss that. I don't know what building something.
I just put the front door in the back and the back on the front.
I don't know what that means because it's either inconvenient. Is it inconvenient for the showers? What does that mean?
Yeah, I don't.
See, if someone said that, is he still with Housing Authority? The Housing Architect.
I know he's the architect for the city, I think.
No, he was with the housing. Yeah, I know.
Wow, there's a possible tornado now.
For more information, visit our website,
www.alabama.gov.
The Jordan B. Peterson Podcast.
That's the day.
Very special smart guest, Joe Rogan.
Sometimes the last hour of a 3-hour podcast is the best hour.
Yeah, well, that intuition was certainly right and revolutionary.
Part of my revolutionary idea is just me being stubborn.
The Jordan B. Peterson Podcast and special guest, Joe Rogan. Download it free and easy at
You can always tell when it's going to get cold.
Spotify,
the weather turns now.
From the Westwood One Podcast.
Well, we're in that process now, and with the strange weather pattern, you usually have a gradual cold, and then you go to gradually getting warmer. When you go suddenly from freezing to 70 degrees and 80 degrees, that causes a problem. You got
We received
That's what happens. It collides. That happens every spring and every fall.
letting us know how much
But now it's
data
happening
we
during the
have
winter.
along
It
with
can
an
happen in
article
the
we
summer.
discussed. That note and that
We usually had hurricanes, used to have hurricanes within a window. Now it's still telling when a hurricane. And how far they'll go.
Made my little text message seem
They go up the East Coast now. They go in New York.
high-tech, low-tech world.
They used to die out before they got out of commuter train.
Once in a while. Well, it's enough to inspire me. I'm ordering stationery and getting
That goes into another conversation that has been made
I hope
political.
I can make someone's world a little kinder.
Weather changes, whether it's man-made or not. The
Kindness revolution.
surface of the earth is changing, whether it's man-made or not. Now, you don't have to argue about that. Whether it's man-made or not, and the world does change. It has always changed.
Okay. Okay, let me go take this little thingamajigger here. We are going to join this conversation between the mayor and Pruitt in progress because they had an interesting conversation that day, and I think it's time to solve some of these issues rather than complain about they were here when I got here.
Next 2 weeks, I promise you, and I'll get Marcel to call you.
All right, item number. Next one.
We're sorry about that. Yes, trying to give Councilwoman Johnson an opportunity to be here, but we do, I hear
Well, she ain't
what
there,
you're
you don't
saying,
stop
and
business.
I appreciate the young business owners, and we look forward to you doing some business.
Now they're gonna bring it. Now here she said that. Now she's gonna bring a lady up there and turn her down.
Item number 3, application for retail beer and retail table wine off premises only doing business is Divine Healing Sea Moss at 631D West Fairview Avenue.
All right.
Okay, this next lady, her name is German, and okay, let me stop this for a second. Her name is German. She is trying to get a liquor license to go along with one of her businesses. Okay, I just heard Audrey Graham say she supports small businesses, but right now she's trying to turn this lady down for a liquor license because some faceless person said, "Well, we don't want it over here."
What is it?
Well, she's gonna tell you what she does. I don't know if it's an event center or
The
something
event
like
center,
that.
yeah. Now they have to have a liquor license.
Right. So anyway,
they're everywhere.
But Audrey initially said, "Well, I support small businesses," and then she turns around and screws the girl big time without.
Let's put this in context.
Yeah.
What is the business?
Well, she's been take.
Okay.
She's been take. I've been take.
Name for the record. Your name?
What's your name?
What's my name for the record?
Yeah, she needs your name.
Oh,
Germany.
Thank you.
Okay, we've carried this over a couple times. Thank you, Ms. Germany, for coming back again.
Keep
I
having her
know
come
that
back.
some of the community members reached out to you and you had conversation with them. I have some here tonight as well. Conversation has not changed with them. They are not in favor of having additional alcoholic beverages being sold in that little small area over there. Parking has been brought up, like people getting in and out and all of that. It's just several different concerns.
I don't know where it's at.
So,
Okay. Now she's turning. I don't know exactly where this is, but the state of Alabama just came and put another liquor store on Fairview Avenue, and I know the state has the authority to do that.
Those are two different things.
Well, not really. They still liquor stores.
No, it's not. No,
it is a liquor store.
Okay, hold on. Is it an on-premise liquor license or is it an off-premise liquor
I think it's
license?
off-premise.
No, it's not. If it's an event center, it's on.
Well, I don't really know if it's a business.
You don't even know what the business is.
No,
It's
I know it's business.
No.
I know
Here's
it's
what we
business
have.
and it's
Here's what
illegal.
we have. When she said parking, okay, and said liquor license, okay, what is the business? Is it an event center or is it a liquor store?
Again, my
question number one.
I don't.
Again,
it's
is it a liquor store or is it an event center?
I don't know.
Well, if you don't know, what are you talking about?
Because it's a principle
Those are
of
two-
business.
It's not a principle. They're
Yes,
two
yes,
different
yes.
things.
The state of Alabama just put a new
Okay,
liquor
so
store.
let me ask you this.
Put
Let
a
me
new
ask you
liquor store on Fairview Avenue.
Kevin, hold on. Here's what I'm saying. Your
And they didn't
complaint
even fight it.
is it an event center or is it a liquor store?
She does. I don't.
You don't know.
No, because
we don't have a conversation here. You don't even know what you're talking about.
You can't say I support small businesses, but if 10 people come up to you and tell me that we don't want it, then you turn a legal business down.
What is the business?
It's irrelevant.
Yes, it is relevant.
To sell liquor is legal.
No.
It's legal.
It's a difference between an on-premise and an off-premise liquor license.
Maybe, but her concern was the people who came to complain.
So if you don't even know what the business is, how can you say?
Because she's not turning her down because of what the business is.
You don't know.
I just
you don't
heard
even
her.
know what the business. What is the
doesn't
business?
make any difference.
Yes, it does.
No, she's turning her down
until
because
you can tell me
somebody,
what the business is.
Bruh,
we can't have a conversation about whether it's fair or not.
She just got done saying the reason she's gonna turn it down is because some people in the community said they didn't want it.
Okay.
It is a legal business.
What is it?
It doesn't make any difference.
Yes, it does.
It's legal.
Let me ask you this. If you can't tell me whether it is an on-premise business or an off-premise,
doesn't make any difference.
Yes, it does.
That's not her reason for turning her down. Her reason for turning her down is because some people complained about the business. They didn't want any more alcohol businesses in the community. Unless you're the state of Alabama, then you can come put a liquor store right on Fairview Avenue.
Look, Kevin.
I'm just telling you.
I'm asking you.
It doesn't make any difference.
Yes,
it
does.
It doesn't.
Is it an on-premise
It doesn't make
or
any.
off-premise?
That's not why she's turning her down.
You don't even have the basics of what it is.
Yes, I do. Now
You're making an assumption. I don't know whether it's on-premise or off.
Wait a minute. Hear this one more time. Here's one more time.
Yeah, she needs your name.
Oh, Germany.
Thank you.
Okay, we've carried this over a couple times. Thank you, Miss Germany, for coming back again. I know that some of the community members reached out to you and you had conversation with them. I have some here tonight as well.
And that's why she started.
Has not changed with them.
With
they're
them.
not in favor of having additional alcoholic beverages being sold in that little small area over there. Parking has been brought up, like people getting in and out and all of that. It's just several different concerns on top of that. So I'm going to, ask this council to vote to deny that application that you have. I wish your business luck. I know you're going to do good.
She wish your business
You're
luck.
talking about your sea malls. I've seen your post on Facebook, so I know you're getting your name out there and people know that you're there. So I know your business will do well.
Need a motion?
Motion to deny?
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Okay, so before we get to this, she had just got done saying prior to that she supported small businesses. But a couple people came to her and said, you don't want that liquor store over there. That's a bunch of crap.
Okay, here's what we have. We have a republic. That means that people represent us. We select people to represent us. That's what she does. She is representing the people of that community. If the people of that community came to her and said, this is not something we want. Now, if there were other people in the community that came up and said, this is what we want. There are two sides to that story. All she had to do was have a group of people who come in and say,
she was kind of young, and I think she probably didn't
she shouldn't have a business there.
Well, that's not. No. That's not.
Dealing with liquor, that is a very
the state put a new liquor store on Fairview Avenue.
And what's your point?
The point is the state can come in and do it, and the city council doesn't even fight it.
First of all, where is the business you're talking about?
It's right. Which business? The state store?
No, the lady you're talking.
I don't know where it's at.
You don't know where it is.
It's irrelevant.
You don't know what it is.
It's irrelevant. The state puts liquor stores anywhere they want to put them.
And you're talking in generality.
In your community.
The state store. It is a state store, and it sells.
And our
liquor,
our city council has never.
And what's your point?
So the big boys gonna jump on her, but they're not gonna fight the state.
Hold on, these are not big boys. We're talking about a neighborhood.
No. I'm talking about they let the state come in and bowl us around and put their liquor stores anywhere they want to put them.
It's a business area. Okay.
Good morning. Who's this? Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Absolutely. Thank you.
Yes. Yes. That's what I'm trying to figure out. They go to the state and they get their license. That's what I'm trying to figure out. They got to, it's no, I'm telling you, if one is allowed to operate, if the state of Alabama can come on Fairview Avenue and put another liquor store on there, and city council don't even fight it, they don't. I asked the mayor yesterday, they don't fight it, they just let it go. Even though they may not can stop it, they can fight it. They fight this young lady, okay, that all the government coming down on her. It is irrelevant. It's legal. It is legal to have a liquor store. Well, I don't have a problem with that policy. If it's a legal business, that's the question we've been. Well, it's true. Some people do. But listen, that's my point. Yes. You're right. I must admit, hers is not an event center, though. I don't know exactly what hers is. I don't know if it's an event center or not. Yeah.
Someone give me that answer.
But unless you can find a clear and present danger, they should. It's legal. They should. Yeah. Show me in the law where it says that you can't do that. Show me in the law where it says you can't have more liquor stores. Exactly.
What's in the ordinance?
What law? That's what I'm trying to take. Wait a minute. I listened to the city councilwoman who never mentioned that she was too close to a school. She was too close to whatever. Her thing was some people came to her and said that they didn't want it. So if we're gonna use that standard, then we need to get car lots. We got car lots right next to each other on streets in Montgomery. Right. Unless it violates some ordinance. We have not heard any ordinance that's being violated, except that some people came to her.
All legal licenses are pending approval of the council.
She already had
all of those.
The state gives those licenses.
Approval of the council, put it in that location.
Again,
they can disprove it.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted. Right. But well, if it's legal and it's not a clear and present danger to the health and welfare of the community, like a pig farm or something like that, but somebody gave her a liquor license, I guess, from the state of Alabama, and she's just trying to open up a little business, but the state of Alabama can come right into the community and put a liquor store in any business building they want to.
She can appeal her case to the state.
Why should she have to do that? Yeah. Yeah. Wait, brother. We got gunshots everywhere now. So okay. Well, Well, if we're gonna use that standard, my yard, I used to have a bunch of McDonald's things thrown in the yard with people going down the street. Should we get rid of Walmart and McDonald's? Oh yeah, the dog, but yeah, yeah, the dog. So I'm just saying, yeah, okay. I'm just saying. Again, she didn't mention a violation of any ordinance.
What it sounds like now, all the information that I have right now is that it seems to be an attraction for a nuisance, an attractive nuisance. Now, the council can refuse to do that for an attractive nuisance.
Not for the state though. The state can put a
city can, but the city she has to appeal to the state.
Right.
But what I'm talking about, Kevin, you talk about what is the duty of a council person to represent the people. And that's what she's doing. She's representing the people of that community. She's doing her job.
And I hear what you're saying, but my problem is that they don't fight the state when the state wants to pick a city. When the state wants to pick a corner and put a liquor store there, we don't fight.
The city of Montgomery cannot tell the state.
They can fight.
No, they can't.
Yes, they can. They can fight it. They may lose.
Look, here we go.
Because you're not making sense to me.
You're not making sense.
Wait a minute.
The city of Montgomery cannot tell the state what to do.
We can fight it.
No, you can't.
Yes, we can. We may lose. But like the mayor said,
why waste city dollars to fight the state?
Because you're fighting for the people and their livelihood.
Who you're fighting for?
The people who want to have the business.
There was a liquor store on on the corner of Rosa Parks and some other street.
And I think this is the one.
And they moved
on Fairview.
It's next to churches. It's crowded, and people come from all over.
Well, I thought they said we had too many liquor stores.
But it's a state liquor store.
So and
you know what? Everyone that goes there, they buy their liquor and go.
They don't.
They buy it and go.
I asked the mayor yesterday, has anybody ever fought him? He said no.
No.
So fight him.
Why?
You fight this little.
What's your fight?
You fight this
Who's
young
going
lady.
to fight it? Who's going to fight it?
We all fight. The city.
Hold on now. When you say fight, what is your charge against the state?
Treating us like slaves.
Oh, wait a minute.
Treating us like slaves.
What does that mean? I don't even know what that means.
Well, when I come back, I'll tell you.
Tell me when we come back.
That's deep. It's gonna be a deep one. We'll be back.
WSFA First Alert Weather Forecast on News Radio.
The elk man. Oh yeah.
So
you're starting the year off right.
Wait. So the city can say we're going to put one in those Negroes community. Okay. No matter what they think, we're going to put it over there. But we won't we won't let a woman who's trying to run a business put one over there. I'm sorry.
First of all, you don't know where the business is.
Doesn't make any difference. It's legal.
You don't know what the business is.
It's legal.
And you're saying they're putting it, and their people are complaining about parking.
Right.
Okay.
They always complain about parking.
Yeah. But hey, I don't hear anybody complaining. I don't hear anybody complaining.
But they stopped Boyd. He just trying to put a car lot up there. We got car lots all up and down.
The zoning. That's a different. That's a totally different issue.
But it can be changed.
To change the zoning.
They can change it.
To change the zoning.
But they can change it.
The people who live there must agree with that.
We got shot houses out there. I've been over there a few times. That ain't no premier neighborhood.
Look, it used to be. But look, here's what I'm saying. Like it could have been. Yeah. But here's what I'm saying. The homeowners who are there, they have more precedent than an investor who does not live there, because they vote there, they live there, and they vote there. Remember that now. An investor is on the
good part between Pruitt and the mayor.
Okay. You got off track. No, your phone not working, and nobody called. Oh yeah, somebody called.
Yeah, this is the same same city council meeting on the 20th of December.
Okay. Now, what was that conversation?
It was about
because
the mayor
started off about
it was about
center.
right. It was about the mayor won't sign off on the expenditure for this thing. Kippy Tate comes up and says, "Well, they built it backwards." So I asked the question.
Whoa, sign off on what thing?
On the expenditure, so we can go ahead and build it, because evidently, technically, somebody. Now I'm with you. I don't know what building it backwards means. I don't have a clue what that means, but that's what they're saying. So I said, did they put the front door in the back and the back door in the front? What does that mean? It's a building. It's a building. So who's responsible? And did anybody get fired? If it was built backward, who's responsible, and did somebody
When
get
you
fired?
say sign off, what is this?
Because-
Is this-
because
is this
the mayor-
in addition to a building or what?
Now, the mayor has the funds, Hoosgow right now, to continue to finish fixing that on Gaslight Curve, that building. And for 8 years, they've been waiting for that community center to be ready to go. And every time they come up to get it ready to go, somebody comes up with, okay, well, now it's got built backwards. And evidently, what I was told is that since Pruitt didn't vote for the NDO, that the mayor is not likely to be in a rush to help him do anything. That's sign off.
So we're talking politics.
Yeah. That's what we
Now,
talking
what does that have to do with getting the job done for the people of Montgomery?
Because the mayor has to sign off on the expenditure.
Well, he's the administrator.
Right. And he tell you that in a minute.
I mean, I don't understand. That just
But a
sounds
bunch
like,
of people
that
came
just sounds
down.
like being vindictive.
It is. And the people from that community came down to the other day too, saying 8 years. Y'all been telling the same crap for 8 years.
Pruitt just wants them to
Finish it.
The mayor won't sign off.
How to do the same. Watch the Tactics Podcast Monday through Thursdays at 6 p.m.
You gotta have mayor on.
Or listen to the Best of show Saturday mornings at 9 on News Radio 1440. Depend on it.
Wonderful dinner last week with friends we hadn't seen in a while.
But my thing is that if the business is legal, then there must be some compelling reason why you do not let them do their business if it's legal.
It's an agreement that you have, and this is what. And there are too many. First of all, there are too many businesses that want to sell alcohol. Period. Because you can't sell that much.
Right.
But
City council can't figure out how to get that that's over there.
But here's the deal. There is an agreement that you have to have with the community.
Says who? There's no law that says
Yes,
that.
it is. Yes, it is.
No, there isn't.
You know what it is?
No law.
If you have a liquor license, you have to put a public notice up.
I understand that.
Now that's the agreement.
All righty then. We are back on air. We listened to some of the excerpts from the December the 20th, and since they didn't have a city council meeting yesterday because they had a weather, they're not tough. So they're not tough. And evidently, there's some concern that maybe a tornado touched down briefly in Halcyon. They got some pictures of some vehicles turned over. So, wow, that must have been some strong, whatever they call those winds, crosswinds, something like that. Let's go back into this thing. Now, next up, after this is done, we're going to hear a conversation between the mayor and Mr. Councilman Pruitt.
We have several, for number 4, Carl Struthers, and Cornelius Maryland, Delaney Finley,
Who's Delaney Finley? I've heard his name.
and Minister Murphy Green. If you guys can come forward, please.
Hey, if you're here from our other neighborhoods, y'all please come stand with Carl and them. And Carrie Chills, y'all can come up as well, please. No, come on, don't be shy. Come on, Floyd. I see you sitting out there. Come on. Yes, sir.
You're gonna be speaking, okay.
Yes, I'm Carl Strother. I'd like to thank for y'all allowing us the opportunity. Thank the President, City Council, Mayor, and everyone. It is something other than trouble. Although we had only pool tables and ping pong tables, it was something to do until the pool opened. Once again, it was a great idea to get the project started, but I have noticed that there has been inactivity for 11 months, and we have a community need to know when this project will be completed.
So they
I
started it.
understand that there has been initial investment of somewhere in the neighborhood of $242,000 already invested in this project, and we have somewhere in the neighborhoods of $900,000 to $1 million that are designated to this project. Can we please get an update on the status completing this project or what else is required to complete this project. Thank you for your attention. Best regards and Godspeed. And those that are ready to speak, also ready to speak, you may step up and speak also.
Mine will be very brief. I'm D. Lionel Finley. I have been a resident in Carriage Hill for almost 26 years. And like our president just stated, we do have some concern about the neighborhood center. We know there were some
8 years
questions about the design, the engineering concerns some time ago, and we were led to believe that those have been taken care of. Our concern is this, that if the funds are there and you're ready to go with the project, we would like to see the city move forward with that. We think it would be a great addition to the Carriage Hill community. Many of our young people as well as our old people.
I didn't know till the mayor said that. So you don't have to live in a particular district.
And so we think that it enhances the neighborhood, provides more opportunities for activity, and we just hope the city will move forward. As the president said, we thank you for the commitments that you've already made. We thank you for coming out to our meetings and hearing our concerns. Mr. Mayor, we know that you were at the last meeting, I believe. Some of us couldn't make it. We do classes on Thursday night, but please know that we appreciate all of your commitment to the city and to the neighborhood, but we do have some concern about this neighborhood center, and we would like to see you move forward with it.
Okay, can we get an update?
Good evening, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and Happy Kwanzaa. I'm Minister Murphy Green. I'm a resident of the Carriage Hill neighborhood. I understand that promises have been made. Funds have been allocated. Ground has been broken. But the city administration has stopped the project. We are amazed but not amused at all the things that you say that you do. Though much concerned but uninformed with decisions that are made by you. But we are sick and tired of hearing the song telling us how you are going to change right from wrong. But if you really want to hear my view, you haven't done nothing. I'm here to humbly ask the city administration to move forward with the completion of the neighborhood community center for Carriage Hill. This is all I have to say.
Thank you.
My name's Cornelius Maryland.
You know him?
I want to speak on behalf of having a community center and the importance of having a community center. I am old enough to know a lot of different people over the years that were civil rights shakers and movers.
Okay, this is going to go a little long, so I'll finish this next hour. Somebody's on the phone, but we're going to get to that conversation between Pruitt and the mayor about this particular issue. As you see, it's a big issue down there. Good morning. Who's this?
Good morning. Yes, sir. Thank you. I think that's a question you need to ask the mayor. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, they didn't ask me. Yeah. Mhm. Out there in Somerset. That's true. They didn't call me. Yeah, they didn't call me. I watched the thing. Yeah, that's what I would do. Yeah, probably so. Yeah. And do you and I tell you something, you and I don't agree on too many things, but I will say one thing. It seems to me that denying liquor licenses is the only thing down there that if one councilman says don't do it, the rest of the councilmen, right.
That's a gentleman's agreement there.
Yeah, gentleman's agreement, but on everything else, they vote as a council. Well, I don't think he said that you give individual owners. Well, yeah, but he can give it to a nonprofit organization. I would assume that goes around and helps people fix their homes. Well, I know what I mean. I got it. I use it a long time. Yeah, all right then. But anyway, I don't know much about that. But it just seems like liquor licenses are the only thing where each councilman begs out and lets the other councilman have his way. But on everything else, they vote as a body.
Well, first of all, if you've been at the
and gentlemen's agreement is not in Act 618, is it?
No,
I didn't think so.
No, that's in politics stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
But did you go to the meeting before the meeting?
Oh no,
you probably would have found out more there.
Well,
because that usually tells you what's going to happen in the meeting. That's just the formality of going through the vote.
Right, and
they have done that.
And I got that. I just want to know how they won't fight the state for putting up a liquor store anywhere they deem they want to put it. But an individual comes down, a taxpaying citizen trying to run a business.
Fighting? What does that mean?
It means just try to stop them. You may lose. You probably will. But
why would you fight just to fight?
Because you never know.
That's a waste of tax dollars.
You never know if you win.
I thought you were a Republican.
Wait. No, I'm not a Republican.
If you're going to fight just to fight, what's the purpose?
There may be a precedent where the state does not have the right to come into the inner workings of a city and do what the hell they please.
They're not going. If they put a business in a business area.
Again, so that's what she's doing.
I don't know what it is.
And they
you don't even know where it is.
And they're stopping her.
Kevin, I can't discuss that intelligently because I don't know what kind of liquor store it is, or if it's a liquor store, if it's on premise, off premise. I don't know what it is. Listen, I don't know where it is.
I'm gonna try to find the lady.
Somebody find it out.
If somebody knows Miss German, give her my number. Okay. 241-9998. I know the legality of liquor is legal.
What is it? It does matter.
Does it? Anyway, we'll be back after that. See, y'all missing. Mine is on principle, not specific.
We're not talking principle. We're talking law.
State can do it. This young lady ought to be able to do it too.
No.
We'll be back.
WSFA 12.
The state doesn't have to go before.
That's right, they don't. And therein lies the problem.
In other words, the state built a $300 million complex in a place that was residential property. They didn't have to go before zoning.
That's right, they don't. They don't. I know that. But I would imagine there's some precedent somewhere where some city has said, I'm sorry, you just can't come drop in the middle of our city and build your structure because you feel it. Then we got slaves and we got servants. We got servants.
The state trumps the city.
In the hierarchy of leadership, I agree with you. But a parent trumps the child, but you can't treat the child any kind of way because you're its parent.
The state put a liquor store in a business area. What's your problem?
I'm Jasmine Williams, and these are your morning headlines.
News Radio 1440 is WLWI AM and 95.1 HD3 FM of Montgomery, a Cumulus media station.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Liberty Mutual.
I'm Monica Ricks in New York. Northern California is set to get drenched again today, just days after record flooding rocked the region.
They said it was going to be bad, and it was really bad. And so now they're saying this one is going to be a lot worse.
Areas around Sacramento could get another 8 inches of rain. Southern California could get around 6. Down south, more storms. Here's CBS's Jim Kursula.
There's been significant damage on the east side of Montgomery, Alabama. Jessica Thornton is the city's emergency management director.
We do have some minor reported injuries. There's lines in the road. There's wood and debris in the road.
The severe weather threat continues today from the Florida Panhandle to the Carolinas.
Snow and ice have already shut down roads and schools in the Midwest. Meantime, Europe is smashing heat records. Alec Ritson with the BBC.
The first few days of January, records were broken across Europe. The unseasonably warm weather has affected 8 countries, stretching from Spain to Denmark.
Southwest is facing more backlash for its holiday cancellation chaos. More from CBS's Courtney Keeley.
A passenger whose flight was canceled by Southwest Airlines last month during its operational meltdown is now suing. The post-class action suit was filed in a New Orleans federal court, and it claims the airline failed to provide a refund.
The Biden administration is warning Southwest if it doesn't issue refunds to stranded passengers, it will face big fines. The FDA just expanded access to abortion pills. CBS's Adriana Diaz explains.
The agency has cleared the way for pharmacies to dispense abortion pills directly to patients in states where they are legal. Demand for pharmacy terminating pills has increased after last year's Supreme Court decision overturning the federal right to an abortion.
The new Speaker of the House is still TBD.
Frontrunner Kevin McCarthy fell short of the
Everybody's always appeal.
The gavel, with more than a dozen GOP members withholding support.
CBS's Nicole D'Antonio says it's the first time that's
I'm not
happened in
getting
100
paid
years.
for this.
They'll
I'm
try
not
again
giving out
today. It is sentencing day for the mastermind behind the college admissions
Someone hadn't
scandal,
told her down there, there's a
Operation
reason they haven't
Varsity
told.
Blues.
Or
Prosecutors
she
want
already
6
knows.
years in
I'm
prison
not
for Rick
making
Singer.
that mess.
He helped wealthy parents get their kids into elite universities
I don't know why
using
she's going
bogus
through all
test
those
scores
things.
and fake
Why
athletic
she's just trying
credentials
to
for
determine
years. There's a new potential cure for teenage depression. CBS's Vicki Barker. The Hong Kong researchers say exercise releases those positive hormones, endorphins, but also improves brain plasticity.
There's got to be a reason to go through all that trouble to do something that.
Experts say it was most beneficial to teens who exercise at least 3 days a week.
With a reason in my mind to turn this woman down.
That's from
Nobody should have to pay for one-size-fits-all insurance
from
coverage.
your perception.
Liberty Mutual
Okay. What you
customizes
perceive,
your car and home
yeah,
insurance,
is one
so
thing.
you only pay for what you need.
Your
Liberty
perception is
Mutual
your
Insurance.
reality, but that doesn't make it
You know what
reality.
people see when they
What
Google
you perceive
Search engines don't always
is
get
one
it
thing.
right. And when they're wrong,
What the
it's your
reality is
reputation on the
different.
line. So what do you do when you don't agree with
That's
your
why I
search
say
results?
I
Call
can't speak on
Reputation
that
Defender at 800
other than what I know.
6681. Reputation Defender by
Because there has been an agreement already between the 9 city council people that this is something that's not going to happen. In other words, that's why, see, when you see the vote, it's unanimous because they've already talked.
Right, and I think, but that's a conspiracy.
That's not a conspiracy.
It is a conspiracy.
What is the meaning?
They
before
conspired to turn her down.
No, that's not. They discussed it. Okay. No.
You call it disgusting.
No,
I call it a conspiracy in private.
A conspiracy is where a group of people have determined they are going to do something illegal against someone. A legal action is not a conspiracy.
Well, conspiracy means when
That's
one
an
or
illegal
more
action.
people get together and plan something. They conspired to turn the woman down.
To do something
They're more
illegal.
interested than
Not
in
legal.
electric vehicles, but they don't want to
pay
It's not a
extra.
conspiracy if we
And from
agree
a
to do
Deloitte
something.
survey, author Ryan Robinson
That's not a conspiracy,
says
that's
this
an
could make
agreement.
it harder for the U.S. government to reach its
Conspiracy and agreement are
aggressive
two different
EV
things.
adoption goals.
Don't
The
get it
affordability
confused.
issue
Fire
is
to get this moment.
sitting squarely in the middle of
Well,
that
what illegal
challenge.
did they
Carmakers say they are
conspire to do?
planning to reveal more affordable EVs in the coming years. Jeff Gilbert, CBS News, Las Vegas.
Stars of the 1968 film Romeo and Juliet are suing Paramount Pictures over a nude scene shot when they were minors. Olivia Hussey and Leonard Whiting claimed the director said they would be wearing flesh-colored underwear and then demanded that they shoot it nude. They were just 15 and 16. Paramount is the parent company of CBS News. Monica Ricks, CBS News.
If your family depends on your income and something happened to you, what will happen to them? You need life insurance, and SelectQuote can help you get it at a price you can afford.
SelectQuote found Jacob, 40, who's in excellent health, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for only $19 a month.
Not in perfect health? Don't worry.
SelectQuote found Tanya, 40, who has type 2 diabetes, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for only $32 a month.
We shop companies like Protective, Prudential, American General, and others to find you the company with the best rates. Give your family the security they need at a price you can afford.
For your free quote, call 1-800-885-8811. That's 1-800-885-8811. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-885-8811.
SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your premium could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. None of it.
Join Sean Hannity Sundays at 3 p.m. for the Encore Show.
Chinese to Russians don't fear Joe Biden.
On News Radio 1440.
Even through the fire. Okay, let me see. Okay.
You get a text?
Huh?
You get a text yet?
No, not yet. Good morning, everybody. It is the first week of the year. We have Donald Jenkins with us. We've been discussing the last city council meeting, and it's uniquely though because you actually get to hear exactly what I heard, which is kind of like irked me a little bit at this meeting. We are going to. I'm not going to go through the whole meeting. Just a couple more things. There's a conversation that went on between Mr. Pruitt, Glenn Pruitt, and the mayor, and I want you guys to look at that, and then we'll be done with this little thingamajigger here, and let you guys. We can talk about other things if you guys want to. But the rules of the city council need to be more solidified and more structured when it comes to liquor licenses and things like that. They do have they can turn you down for, I guess, if your haircut's not right, anything. But other people seem to come down there and be able to get a license without a problem at all. It just seemed like to me that I ain't saying what I'm feeling.
I think there should be an understanding when people want a business that sells liquor. They need to have an understanding of what the business is and what the concerns are of the people who are in that community. And those people who do that, and I've been privy to a lot of those kinds of meetings and concerns, and those who talk to the people and tell them exactly what they're going to do, they're successful.
So the only people who don't have to do that's the state.
No. Look,
I'm sorry.
Look, that's not even a conversation.
But it is.
The state of Alabama puts liquor stores.
So we they boys then. We just come down and grab any street they want to, bam, put a liquor store.
Can I finish the sentence?
Yeah.
The state of Alabama puts liquor stores in business areas. End of story. That's it. Every liquor store is in a business area. It's already a business district. It's already businesses there.
Well,
they
I'm
don't put
efforting.
liquor stores in neighborhoods.
Yeah, I am efforting right now to find out exactly what this is. Let's continue this, and then we'll move on.
Okay.
I'm State University, and I have several uncles at top, and I got a chance to.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, can we update them?
Here's for the mayor.
They came tonight. Keep it, you come up. Introduce yourself to your title quickly. You introduce yourself in your title. Okay. Hello, everybody. I'm Kippy Tate. I am the Chief Building Official for the City of Montgomery. I agree with you 100%. Community centers are very good attributes for community. I had the pleasure of being around most of the community centers in the city as a young boy in Montgomery. I'm from here, so I do understand the value of a community center, what it can mean to the community. That's where you learn how to fight, learn how to negotiate, find your first girlfriend, and all that good stuff. So I know what it means to be at the community. Learn how to swim at the community. But I will say this about this particular community center. Ladies and gentlemen, this project got started and a lot of things were out of sequence. Nothing to do with the funding, nothing to do with what's right and wrong. The problem was it got started out of sequence. What do I mean by that? Well, we actually had the project start without the proper approvals from the necessary departments within the city and state.
I don't understand what that.
That was one area that we have to get corrected, and we were in that path of doing so. Another area of concern, and my office did stop the project, by the way. My office has the authority to do that because, quite frankly, the architectural drawings that were presented were not adequate at the time. So
I think it started.
Material got ordered that you see out there now. The project was not fully designed at the time that it came to my office. So for the benefit of the life safety of the people that would be using the center, we stopped the project. So where are we now? We are bringing all of the community centers online that are part of a study that we're doing, not just CalMar, but other projects that are involved with some of the ARPA funding. And we have a program manager that's assisting us with all of the projects, and CalMar will be included in that. And it's my anticipation. I'm calling it CalMar. It's on CalMar Drive. That's the name of the project, I'm sorry. It's on CalMar Drive. So now what we'll be doing is raising up CalMar along with the rest of the project, and then it'll be prioritized from there.
Mr. Calhoun. Mr. Brooks. We still have not heard an answer, Mayor. You know, prioritizing, these people come down here. We started this project 8 years ago. And every problem, and they're aware of all the problems, the building was built backwards.
What'd you say, Glenn? It was what?
Yeah, it was built backwards.
That's the problem.
It was built backwards. I've shared every bit of this information with you guys. This has been corrected since June or July of this year. The funding has been in place. We got the last $700,000 in August. And telling these people that came down here on a rainy night, we're going to prioritize after 8 years. That's not the answer that these people came down here to look for. That's y'all's community center. And that's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. And this council ought to be.
Well, Mr. Pruitt, I would like to say something now, because you've been in this with us.
Yes.
We don't have an architect to this point.
Yes, we do.
No, we don't.
He has his SAMs. Yes, he does.
He doesn't have a contract.
Exactly.
That's my point. You can't proceed without these pieces of equipment.
After item number 6, we will have a contract.
But at this point, we don't have those pieces in place.
But we have put these people off and put these people off. And I'm embarrassed. I'm sorry.
Well, let's hold on 1 second. Hold on. Let's hold on 1 second.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's start with the grandstanding. So one, I wasn't here 8 years ago. So let's start there. Now, if you want to take account for the mistakes you made before we were in here, then you take responsibility for the mistakes you made, and there's been a hell of a lot of them. That's number one.
Share with me, Mayor.
The second thing, let me say this. I'm just getting started. The second thing is, we don't do things just in time. So when there's an issue that is brought to my attention, we look at it from the city standpoint. We are the fiduciary for the taxpayers' money, not you. Now, anytime you want to run at large, if you want to change all these council districts, we can always run citywide, then we can do it. Last time I checked, I'm the only person been elected countywide and citywide. So I'm the fiduciary for the financial responsibility of this city, not you. It's not your name on it. and it won't be your name on it. So when there's an issue that's brought up around taxpayer funds, we take that very seriously, Ms. Pruitt. Now, maybe you don't.
The money has been, hold on, man. The money has been allocated.
It's not a matter of allocating the dollars. It's not a matter of allocating the dollars. So as you and I talked about with my chief of staff, we told you this project would be completed and it would have your daughter's name on it. So if we want to get to
that wasn't
we
necessary.
talked about that.
That wasn't necessary to bring that up.
And we made that commitment to you.
That wasn't necessary.
But we also told you that we heard from other elected officials in other communities who felt like you jumped the line. And we jumped the line.
Does anybody on this council that I have jumped the line?
That's irrespective. I'm talking right to you, Mr. Pruitt. I'm not talking to the other council members and anybody in this body. So you have brought the people here and you haven't told them all the facts.
They know every single
thing. Well, I'm going to make sure they do. So we told you it would be completed. We told you it would have your daughter's name. What we told you was we had to prioritize because there had been other issues that had been brought about for longer than 8 years that we were told about of people who felt like their community centers had not been addressed, who had been made promises prior to 2019. And so what we have done is we asked our program manager along with our chief building official to give us a priority in terms of needs assessment. Where should we start? What's in the worst condition? Where should we allocate the resources? And how should we go about doing that? And that's how we're going to proceed. So as it relates to all the folks in Carriages, many of this group that I know, and many of whom I'm proud to know, we are going to complete this project. But from our standpoint, we have to take the position of representing the entire city. We don't have the luxury of just looking at it street by street, neighborhood by neighborhood. So when we hear that there have been other projects that also need attention, we ask our program manager to get with us and let us know how should we prioritize how we move forward. So now, when will it be completed? I would love for a lot of projects. We passed the Montgomery Ford initiative. We thought the fire station would be completed by now. It is not. Now, we could rush it and we could give you a halfway done fire station for us to come back and say in 5 years, we shouldn't have done it this way. I don't believe in doing that. I believe in doing what's right. I believe in doing it right, and I'm going to do it correctly. Now, some people want to just give you something just to say they gave you something so they get reelected. They want to be able to say, see what I did for you? They don't care how it looks. They don't care whether or not it can stand a strong storm. They just want to be able to say this is what I did. So what we're going to do under this administration, we're going to do it right. We're not going to build it cheap. We're not going to build it rush. And if it takes us a little bit extra time to do it properly and to do it with a level of excellence from Hoover to Auburn, we're going to be proud of it. And that's what I commit to. And I apologize if it takes a little bit longer, but we're going to do these things right. We're going to do them best in class. And that's how we're going to handle each and every project that we do.
Mr. Calhoun, can I?
Mr. President.
Hang on a second. Carl, hold on a second.
Let me ask one question here. Now that this project has gotten started, I'm in the, I'm very concerned that there's some rebar sticking out of the ground and all that. Is there any way to build some protective barriers around it until we can get all this straightened out? Because somebody could get in there and get hurt real bad.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I have spoken with the city engineer.
And I'm listening to you as far as why things are not being done. I'm a can-do kind of guy. So tell me what kind of timelines, how much ownership do you have in the process? What are you looking at doing? Because when you say these things can't be done, it got out of order or whatever, how are you going to put it in order? What kind of things are you doing? Are you guys meeting in council? Let me finish.
Go ahead.
Mr. Mayor. Because, talk to us. Oh, okay. But I don't understand. The mayor talks about spending money that's our money, taxpayers' money. And I understand you're doing it for the city. But by golly, you got to do something. All the money that was spent already, that's wasted money. You know what I'm saying? It's a loss. So take ownership, get a process done, meet with on a regular basis, put it out there. I'm sure you got internet, and keep us appraised of the process. It shouldn't be that complicated. If the government was run like the private sector, we wouldn't be talking about this.
private sector not perfect.
Yeah, I know that.
I worked in the
Well, I
private
know
sector.
that, but it moves a little faster than where you guys
I
are
would
going.
agree with that.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, the city mayor, he's angry, and I don't understand it. Let's get it done. Let's get it done. Make it happen.
Mr. Tate.
I want to say
Okay. Well, a lot of that now, some of that right there is going into personality issues between the different departments. But anyway, I just thought I would share some of that with you.
And if you're going to share something, share it within context. And what I heard on that particular situation, that there was a situation, as the mayor said, for 8 years ago, a project was started out of sequence.
Okay, but that's not our problem.
No,
That's their problem.
hold on, Kevin. Wait, it is our problem now. Because first of all, this project does not have an architect. The council, if you listen to what was said, the city council will vote on an architect for the project.
Hold
on.
Wait a minute. The mayor's been in there now for over 3 years.
No, hold on. As Kippy Tate just said, he's the general building inspector or whatever. Okay. Now he hadn't been there 8 years.
I got you, but he's been there 3.
Okay, hold on. Here's what happened. You get in here and you find out that there are problems here.
You should have known that while you was running.
No, you
should
don't.
have figured that out while you was running.
Hold on, Kevin. We're talking about an issue. This has nothing to do with politics.
It does.
This is a practical matter. From what I heard and what I listened to, this is my perspective.
Okay.
I heard the mayor explain that there was a project, and he had a person to come up and explain that there was a project that never should have even started.
Okay.
Number one. Now, after you've started a project improperly, now you've got to straighten out everything that has been done before.
All we want is done.
Hold on.
We don't want to hear excuses.
That
of why
sounds
it
good,
isn't
Kevin.
done.
That's
We just want it
politics.
done.
That's politics. Look, here's the thing. The administrative part is making the
Let me-
sausage.
Let me grab this phone right quick. Then we get back and break after we get back
Go
to
ahead.
that. Good morning. Who's this? Pretty good. Well, let me ask you, was this in the county jail or the city jail? So, has anybody talked to, has anybody talked to Sheriff Cunningham? I mean, has anybody talked to, because, I mean, he's the one that, that's in charge of that. Right, but I'm just saying, has nobody had a conversation with the sheriff? I understand, but has anybody had a conversation with the sheriff? Okay, and he. Right. I tell you what, let me. Okay. And of course, I right now I'm engaged in the conversation right now about something. If we can have this conversation tomorrow, and I'll try to get the sheriff on at the same time, and yeah. Okay. All right. And you said this woman was in the Montgomery County Jail under the auspices of Sheriff Derek Cunningham. Okay. Let me see. All right. Appreciate it. We'll be back.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic brought to you by Brubaker Motors. Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples
I can't see Derek letting that
happen. You don't have all the
right,
information.
And that's why I'm calling him.
Choose your comments on it. You don't have.
I ain't gonna say nothing about it because I don't know.
You can't either condemn nor condone.
Right.
Because you don't know the information about that.
That's why I'm gonna call him.
You know, you don't know why that person is in jail.
I don't. But no matter why she's in jail, she's pregnant. She ought to get some prenatal.
I don't know.
Again, I don't either. But I
don't know. That's in other words.
When you're in jail or not, when you're in jail or not, you're still supposed to be medically taken care of.
You don't know what's going on.
I don't.
You just know what.
Right, and that's why I ain't jumping to no conclusion. That's why I'm calling sheriff.
That's just what.
But that may not just why she in there.
Right.
It don't matter why she in there.
I don't know.
You still gonna get medical care.
That don't sound too clear to me. But I can't see Derek Cunningham.
I can't see that.
I can't see Derek Cunningham doing that. I can't.
This
I'm just sorry.
I can't
That's
see
not
that.
political to me. You know Derek Cunningham.
Yeah,
I know. That don't sound like him.
That don't sound like him. So, and that's why I don't want to continue on with this
more
story.
to that story.
Right, it might be. I just called him.
Made to your voters, your constituents, and serve them.
I can't see
or
him
you're not
seeing
going
a
to
can't see that.
pregnant woman in there and not giving
He's
her care.
going forward with the
I can't see that
investigations
either,
into whether the FBI is
There's always two sides to the story.
Yeah, there
He's
you go.
investigating Joe Biden
It's
and his
there's the
relationship
rest
with
of that.
Hunter
And
and
I
his
don't
foreign
want her
business
to
partners. He's investigating the origins of
That's why I make
COVID-19.
sure we talk about
He's
it right here.
investigating the disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan. And you have the motion to vacate, which means if he doesn't keep his promises, you could throw him out at any time.
From coast to coast, from sea to shining sea, it's the Sean Hannity Show.
All right, repeat after me. I am not stuck with these old blinds. New year, new home, and with Blinds.com, you can save up to 40% off site-wide on premium custom window treatments right now. They have free professional design consultants available when you need them to help you pick out the best blinds and so much more. And if you need help with measuring and installation, they will help you there as well. Now shop at Blinds.com right now. Save up to 40% off site-wide, including 40% off all sheer shades. Rules and restrictions may apply. You know, tragically, last year had a record number of school shooting victims. Now, in active shooter incidents, schools go on lockdown and locked doors impede law enforcement's access. Now, with Knox, both school officials and law enforcement have access to key cards, keys, floor plans, and getting them into those locked doors. Get Knox. Just go to schoolentry.com. That's their website, schoolentry, one word.com. Schoolentry.com.
I loved playing high school sports. I loved the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, all the pageantry, and I wanted to keep playing. But I graduated. No colleges called, and neither did the pros. So, to stay close to the game I loved, I decided to become a high school official. A referee.
Well,
When
that was a lot to
played high school
digest on
sports,
that.
I learned the importance of integrity, good sportsmanship, and respect
on the
for
mayor's
rules.
conversation.
Now, as a high school official, I get to help model these
See, now
same
I understand
values to
what
others.
he's
Maybe
saying.
the
When you
colleges
said
and the
built
pros
backwards,
didn't call, but the
the
kids in
construction
Alabama did.
started backwards.
And
The
now,
proper
I'm enjoying
approval,
the
the proper,
competition,
that
the
didn't.
camaraderie.
Now, having said that,
that's what he means.
you
The
can't,
process.
now from where you are,
all over again.
you basically, in a
This
way,
message
have
was
got to
started
start
over
over again from this point. But you don't have an architect.
But he's an architect.
No, that's for that. He is, but there has to be an architect contractor for that. He is not that doesn't mean is an architect for everything that's going to be built.
So why did they let it get started without the architect?
That goes back 8 years.
Well, we can't put everything on 8 years
Yes,
ago.
you can, because it never should have even started. See now, and I can understand the mayor being mad. Why you didn't make this complaint 8 years ago? You get what I'm saying? That's basically what he's saying. I'm starting in a process that's in the middle of something that never should have been done, didn't go through the correct protocol, didn't go through the proper inspection. And now when my city inspector comes in and is doing his job, you want to say I'm holding you up. That's basically what the mayor was saying. And I don't blame him. I'd be pissed off if I didn't see that about the mayor who was there before. Did you hear that then? All right then.
And it's 8:30 on this Wednesday morning. Hope you guys are, Again, I'm going to reserve any opinion or anything about, I know Sheriff Cunningham, so I know there's a lot more to go to this than what we know. And I'm going to give him a call sometime today. And that doesn't sound like the man I know. So I don't know what the whole story is, but there's always three sides to every story. Your side, they side, and the right side. So we'll talk about that maybe sometime tomorrow. Okay. But my job is not to, except for the city council, I can dog them because they wrong. But,
you just disagree with them.
Yeah, this is disagree.
Doesn't mean they're wrong.
Yeah, well, they are wrong.
You disagree.
Yeah. Hey, good morning. Who's this? Our numbers are 860-1440. Mm-hmm. Oh, well, yeah, give me something to do in the morning. Mm-hmm. No. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. 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 Right. And again, there's always more than one side. So we'll, yeah. Okay. No. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Right. Okay. Well, we'll find. I mean, I'll yeah. Again, you know, people. Again, there's three sides to every story. So we'll talk about it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. All right, appreciate it. Good morning, you're on air.
Good morning.
Just wanted to tell you I'm sorry for you lost your mother and hope you're doing better.
Oh yeah. yeah, she had a full life.
Yeah, and each day gets a little bit better, but never really get over losing. That's the thing that blows you the most. But anyway, can we get back talking a little bit about the liquor deal?
Right.
The license?
Okay.
And maybe you can get council person for downtown, whoever.
Which is be Mr. Johnson. Right.
Okay, recently they just changed the thing where you can have the open container thing up in the Cottage Hills area. Did you hear about that?
Well, I didn't know we changed that. Okay, well, I'm all for that, but hey.
Well, they expanded it from downtown up to the Cottage Hills area. Were you aware of that, Donald?
I had heard something about it. I didn't know they went ahead and voted on it. Yeah, that's similar to Cloverdale. Not a problem.
Right. My only concern is law enforcement is when you pull these things away, whether it be Cloverdale or wherever, from the business area, the downtown area, and then start moving it into residential areas, that you create problems with people that are going to live there, with people because my understanding this is supposed to be about coming out of a business and that you can carry a drink out onto the street, but how are you going to determine whether somebody comes out of their residence with drinks in their hand?
When you say Cottage Hill, I think you're talking about the Cottage Hill Business District up there. I don't think you're talking about the Cottage Hill neighborhood. There are those businesses that go on Heron Street and over across that Goldwaith and those. I think that's basically what you're talking about there, because they have the beer garden over there and all of that. So I knew that would eventually come over there, where you can walk from the beer garden over to the coffee shop and not worry about anything. I think that's more down the line of it.
It's just my concern that if you start expanding these things close to residential areas, and that is enclosed, and they're supposed to be developing that up in there and through apartments and whatnot. But anyway, it's just my concern that it makes it harder for the people that live in close proximity. And you were talking about putting a liquor store here or a liquor store there, that you're opening Pandora's box by doing that if you're not keeping it very restrictive and close to business. That's just
right.
That's just my concern.
Now one thing I am wondering, and maybe you can help me because you're like 2 years older than me. How did we survive all these years with alcohol, starting with Jesus Christ turning the water into wine, without destroying our world? We act like people drinking alcohol publicly is a big deal. I mean,
well, drinking and driving.
Big drinking and driving, but we allow people to go to football games knowing they drinking. We know they drinking at a football game, right. And they get in their car. We know that. So why are we so concerned?
Well, he's speaking from law enforcement.
But I'm just even law enforcement. They know Alabama. When you go to an Alabama game or Auburn game, somebody got some beer.
I can understand his concern, but I think we're not talking about just drunks going around clowning. We're talking about social drinkers mainly. It's not what you drink; it's who's drinking. Now that's what makes the difference. You can have the winos on the block. They're a little bit different from. And they have a different kind of wine. I guess it makes it act differently. I don't know.
They got the MD 2020.
yeah, the MD 2020. It makes you want to shoot a gun.
Okay.
But Don Perignon.
But Mr. Caller,
it's more of a social thing.
We do know people drink at football games. We know that. And if the police wanted to, they could every Saturday after the game is over, they could put a whole lot of people in jail.
Involving, gunfire, gunplay, any kind of these incidents, a lot of times there's alcohol involved. And people do stuff, when they got liquid courage in them, they wouldn't do, especially put a gun in their hand, that they wouldn't do any other time. But anyway, that was just my concern about having close to a residential area, but everybody else is cool with it. I'm cool with it.
Yeah. Well, downtown is mixed use. It's a residential area.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was chill residential areas, Donald, that was only my concern.
Yeah.
Hey, let me ask you a
that's a
question.
business.
You know, they are selling commercially now those sticks that you see the police carry. You push a button and the thingamajigger comes out. Are those legal for us to carry?
Yeah, I mean, you can carry them, but I mean, if you use it as a weapon, then you can be charged. But you can carry it, and I mean, it's just like a knife, that's the length of a blade of a knife.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, there's no law that says you can't have one. You just can't use it as a weapon. What you're using it as a defensive weapon will be up to judge or jury. So,
Okay.
You can't have one.
So do you think the police should be able to carry stuff that I can't? Different.
Certain situations and tactical situations, because if you're going up against a big bad wolf, you want to have something equal to or greater than.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I got the taser for that summer gun as a dog, but I haven't been able to use it yet because maybe the word got out. Well, that's probably true. Okay, I mean, I haven't been able to use it yet. I guess the word got out. They'll be pooping in my yard. Good morning. Who's this? Yes.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Okay. Well, I got to take my last break. We'll talk about it, and I guess there'll be more news coming in the distant or near future, and we will take a break right now, and we'll come back. Again, I don't know much about that. I'll have to talk to the sheriff or his representative and get the rest, like Paul Harvey used to say, the rest of the story. We'll be back. 860-1440. You want to text me? 241-9998. That's 334-241-9998. We'll be back.
Your WSFA First Alert Weather Forecast.
One thing, there's never a dull moment on the Elkins Show. You never know which way it'll go, and it has nothing to do with you. It just goes.
Learn more at discover.com.
And all kinds of
AD rewards. Terms apply.
After an active and stormy overnight and early morning, things are going to quiet down here. By 9 o'clock, I think the whole state is quiet and sunshine.
But my question is, what is the purpose of putting it on the radio?
It don't. I mean, people think that some things ought to be done in private.
Right.
And I've learned that the hard way. Because sometimes you just piss people off.
Yeah. So I think what is happening in this situation, they're pissing some people off.
Yeah.
If they weren't pissed off, they are now.
And if they
Because we've got something that there's a situation with this woman. I don't know what it is, but I can guarantee you.
I mean,
Derek Cunningham is not liking what he hears, and I'm pretty sure he's listening.
They got Penny McClammy, so Penny McClammy got a hell of a lot more juice than I got.
So what? And she's got a radio show too. I'm just saying.
If your family depends on your income and something happened to you, what would happen to them? You need life insurance, and SelectQuote can help you get it at a price you can afford.
SelectQuote found Jacob, 40, who's in excellent health, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for only $19 a month.
Not in perfect health? Don't worry.
SelectQuote found Tanya, 40, who has type 2 diabetes, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for only $32 a month.
We shop companies like Protective, Prudential, American General, and others to find you the company with the best rates. Give your family the security they need at a price you can afford.
For your free quote, call 1-800-885-8811. That's 1-800-885-8811. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-885-8811.
SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policies at selectquote.com/commercials. Your premium could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Managing your online presence takes time, effort, and expertise. It can overwhelm even the savviest business owner. So, meet Cumulus Boost. We're experts at boosting the online presence for businesses of every type. We make sure potential customers can easily find you and really like what they find. Your website, online listings, consumer reviews, and more. Cumulus Boost, online at cumulusboost.com. CUMULUS Boost.com.
Wash your hands, brush your teeth, but what about the nose? How do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out allergens, mucus, and germs. And it's why cleaning your nose, the body's air filter, is the next evolution in daily personal hygiene. People try Navage for lots of reasons. Sinusitis, colds, allergies, snoring, things that make it hard to breathe through your nose. But over time, they find that cleaning their nose makes them feel better, a lot better. Over 3 million Navage users have written more than 100,000 reviews, averaging 4.7 stars, saying, best product I've ever used. And amazing, I love my Navage. Navage helps you breathe better, sleep deeper, and snore less. But the biggest payoff is improved health. Navage is good personal hygiene and can help you Walmart, Walgreens, Target, and online. AGE, clean nose, healthy life.
How do you and your staff get things done? Teamwork. When a team works together, they can do anything. That's why all of us at Janny King, the clean are excited to team up with you. At Janny King, our team has been working together for over 35 years, cleaning your places for work, education, medical attention, eateries, stadiums, and worship.
Going on with the high sheriff.
Go to Janny King, clean stuff.
Well, the high sheriff is doing a good job. I don't know what about
I
this.
think there's some
there's
personality issues that don't warrant comment. Everything doesn't warrant comment. And there's some personality issues.
If I didn't know who he was, it would be some question, but I know who he is. And
I think it's some personality issues there. That's what I'm hearing. And I think some things warrant no comment. But I do, on that construction thing, I think something that needs to be said, Kevin, whenever a construction project stops for any significant amount of time, there are only two reasons for it. It's the funding or the ability to complete that. Meaning the knowledge or whatever. It means something wrong why you can't do it. There's only two reasons it stopped.
It is 8:48 this morning. Appreciate you guys tuning in. My goal this year is to get 100 new listeners, and that's my goal. So I got to go out and beat the bush and you know, and become relevant. I don't like being irrelevant. That's a lonely feeling. So, 860-1440 is the
How
number.
will you know you have a new listener?
I'm gonna ask them.
How will you know?
Because I can
Who
tell.
to ask?
I can tell by the voice.
How? You
Yes.
mean 100 on the phone?
On the phone, yeah.
That's not going to happen.
I think it will.
No. Only the same few people are going to call all the time.
No, I'll get.
This is local talk radio.
I know. I'll get some new ones though.
No.
As a matter of fact, I guarantee you right now, I'll get you some Popeye's chicken. I can get a new call before this show is over. Okay.
I'm not a betting man, but
Okay.
you probably could.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, you do have a lot of listeners.
That's right.
You're
That's what I'm
saying
saying.
not listeners.
I'm
You're
talking
talking
about
about new callers.
Somebody to call. Yeah. 'Cause
Okay.
so I can hear. So I need some infusion. It's like getting a blood transfusion. I need to infuse some new stuff in my head.
I think the reason you get the same callers is because some people think those callers are very entertaining.
Right,
And they
and we
listen
need-
just to
and-
see
right.
what is so-and-so going to say
As
today.
a matter of
It's
fact,
entertaining.
I went last week to look at 50/50. 50/50 is at home now.
Okay.
I didn't see his son was there. I didn't get a chance to see
Was
him very
there?
much, but
Oh, okay.
Jimmy was there, and so we.
I'll
But
have
he
to
is.
go by and see him.
Yeah, he is at home now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad you told me.
Yeah. Good morning. Who's this? I know, but now you know you're breaking my rule. You know you're breaking my rule. I mean, what color is your skin? Maybe she. Well, yeah. I mean, again, we don't know enough. Well, we think we know. Right. But now, to be fair, it's right, and maybe, but now everybody has a right. But whether you do something or bad or not, you still have a right to be treated humanely. Well, I haven't said that. That's what I'm saying. I haven't said that. So I don't know the nuances of that, and I know the sheriff. Well, that doesn't matter though. I mean, why? Yeah. I don't know, but and that's that's. All right then. We don't get in that. We don't have enough time to get in that anyway. It's 8:52 in the morning, but it's I don't know. $1 million bond. That's a big bond though. That's a big one. But anyway, we will. I'll check with the sheriff today if he takes my call. Because the one thing Donald has taught me about this job, not really taught me, but he has given me some great advice on a couple of times. Not very often, but every once in a while. And I don't really want to get into naming people personally that are engaged in any kind of conflict unless that conflict affects all of us. Okay, this particular issue thing right here only affects the sheriff and this person, whoever they are. So we'll find out about a good name and character issues are just things that because I know Derek Cunningham, and Derek Cunningham wouldn't do anything like that. So there's more to this story than we know, and so we'll find out. We'll find out. But I'm not gonna I went to there's a website called Montgomery Needs a New Mayor. Well, I went over there just to look around. I was just spying in the corner. I just want to make sure whatever you say, it's provable. And slander is just not part of my personality. Unless I know you did it personally, then I can't. Political disagreements are going to happen. Mothers and kids disagree with each other all the time. But guess what? She's still mama. Okay, so and like the first sergeant said, listen, Elder, I don't have to get along with you. You got to get along with me. He made a good point there. Since he had more stripes than I got, I'll say I feel you, Top. I feel you. I understood that. So, let's just find out what actually went on. But somebody said she was in jail for 9 months, so obviously she was pregnant when she got there. Because it takes 9 months, unless you're an elephant. Then it takes 18 months for the elephant to gestate and all that stuff. You know that?
Okay.
18 months. I don't know how long a giraffe. Yeah, I don't know. I'm only worried about the 9 months.
There you go.
Yeah. Anyway, so man, it's good having you back.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's been a long time.
Now here's a story that I'm going to attribute to the guy having good parents.
Mm-hmm.
In Clanton, Alabama, right up the road up here, a young man, 16-year-old guy, got into his truck and ran over some public properties, doing wheelies in the grass and all kinds of things, just making a mess of everything. Well, he turned around and went to the police department and turned himself in. So they had him on video, but it was night. It was going to take him a minute to find him, but he went every day. His parents said, "You know what? You did it. Now own up to it." And he showed up at the police department, and now he's going to be out there redoing that grass. I appreciate that. Okay, I appreciate his willingness to go before the man, and because he did it around 2:23 in the mornings, and a Dodge diesel truck he used, and now they was going to find him. They were going to find him, brother. I mean, ain't too many people ride around in Dodge diesel trucks, so we was going to get him, but he did the right thing and he showed up. We need some more kids to do that right now. Okay, all right then. Oh, also, Terry Sewell was given this great information where she got $48 million for District 7. Well, I looked around at what everybody else got. We got the change. Because District 7 got the change. Everybody else got the money. I don't know about that one. Okay. Let's see what else is going on. Okay. Oh, one more thing. It seems that there's a lot of animosity against Christian churches in America lately. Don't know why, since America supposedly was built pretty much on a Christian church foundation.
Not really.
Yeah, you better. Good morning, who's this? Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Mm-hmm. Now let me ask you a question. If it's cold, can we convoy? I'm just saying. Well, I hear you, but I just say, the old bones, we get kind of cold. But if it's cold, if we can line up, if we can park at the church and do convoy, I'd be with you. You don't feel no cold? Okay, then. Well, I'll come on out and see what I can do. I mean, if the what's name got out of the well of a belly, then I guess the good Lord take care of me. All right. Amy. All right, appreciate it. You too. Anyway, man, our time is almost up, but it has been interesting. Donald, thank you for coming. And again, our condolences go to you for for the loss of your mom. I know what that feels like. And it is what it is.
Yeah, life will.
Yeah. Well, folks, that's it. I appreciate you joining us this morning. If the good Lord says the same, we'll be back tomorrow morning with something interesting to talk about, or maybe not so interesting, but we'll be talking. So we'll see you then.
All right. Now, your WSFA 12 news update on News Radio.
You're back informed. The true elk man and same callers.
Yeah.
don't look for it. I mean, it's nice to.
I'm gonna get some.
No, actually, there are a lot of people who listen just
I know,
to see what
but I want
the usual
That's true.
callers are gonna do.
My job.
They like to hear the people you disagree with, and they like to hear the people you agree with. Now you have a lot of new listeners.